Okay, so first we are here in your old stomping grounds. Tell me a
Yes.
little bit, how does it feel being back?
It always feels like coming home. The school has a very special place in my heart. I remember when I first started, my very first day, my superintendent walked me in and gave me a pep talk, and the school was definitely in transition. A lot of work needed to be done. And it was just an amazing experience because the same people, a few left in the first year, but the majority of the staff stayed with us for the entire time that I was a principal. So it was really a great opportunity to rebuild the school and work with everybody, and we became family.
And before we started, we were talking kind of about how some folks in your career saw this for you early on. Did you always see this?
No, I did not see it at all, but I've been very lucky, very fortunate to have had mentors along the way. And so some of the people who you met today served as mentors to me. When I first came in as a teacher, they helped me understand the building, how to lesson plan, who to know, how to operate within this very large system. So something as simple as, like, if you're having a payroll issue, who do you go to? Like, those are the same people who then became close friends, and one of them became my assistant principal, and the other one is now the principal of this school. So I think for me, what was amazing is having built this network of people who stood shoulder to shoulder with me, but then also nurtured and mentored my career. So while I didn't see it, I've definitely worked with some of the best people that I could ask for, and me being here is a testament to their pouring into me.
And now that you're at this moment in your career, how is it feeling to be taking such a big next step?
It feels amazing. I'm really honored to have this opportunity. Being a neighborhood Bronx girl and being able to think about the entire city, there's so many possibilities. So many amazing things that I was able to do with my team as a principal and as a deputy superintendent and acting superintendent, and then just thinking about this is such a huge opportunity for us to do something big for New York City.
What is something that you learned in your time as an educator in the Bronx that you are hoping to carry with you in this new role as Chancellor?
Be kind and collaborative. No matter what the situation is, always find people's strengths. Always find the best in people, build on their strengths, help them develop a growth plan for them in the areas where they're not so great. Surround yourself with people who know more than you in very specific areas. Self-awareness is key. So I've worked with some of the most amazing people, and having that kind of collaborative mindset will serve me well in any position.
And I know you were born and raised and grew up in the Bronx as well. As a student who was in the Bronx, what is something that you think are some of the needs that you saw as a student here, and that now maybe are things you can address as a role as Chancellor?
Yeah, so when I was growing up, particularly in the 80s, the Bronx was not what it is today. We have fierce advocates like our Bronx Borough president and amazing superintendents who have really poured into the community. Unfortunately, when I was growing up, many of the schools in my neighborhood were not an option. So my mother worked really hard to work off my tuition so I could go to a Catholic school. And what I learned is that family empowerment, overall safety and wellness for students are essential prerequisites to learning. So if children and families do not feel safe and welcome, no one will be able to learn, right? So those are the things that I carry with me.
Yeah.
There's one more coming in about 2 minutes.
Good to know. And speaking to that safety, we know that's something that's so important for parents, especially parents here in the Bronx as well. We cover News 12 Brooklyn. We have a lot of parents there that have felt that their students were unsafe or had concerns. We had a school in the Bronx where there were threats made toward the school, and thankfully unfounded. But what is maybe a top issue in addition to safety for students? What's another top issue that you really want to tackle in this new role?
So I've been working alongside Chancellor Banks for 2.5 years now, and for us, safety has always been essential. I plan on doubling down on that, And of course, New York City reads, New York City solves. As I've mentioned in the past, who doesn't want students to be able to read and do math and have amazing opportunities post-graduation? So those things will continue. Where we need to double down our efforts is overall wellness and safety, as well as family empowerment.
Is there anything new that New Yorkers should expect from you going forward?
They will see something coming in the family empowerment and wellness spaces. But like I've mentioned before, we've already started some great work. And as someone who has lived through quite a few chancellors and quite a few transitions, I'm committed to stability and making sure that we focus on implementation of good work, that we tweak areas that need to be tweaked, but certainly not that we change the landscape in the middle of a school year. As a teacher at heart, because that's what I will always be, that's not something I would do to my colleagues or the children.
Moving forward, are there areas that you think you would like to change or do differently in the future?
I think everything needs to be monitored and revised, right? Nothing is completely stagnant. Education, children, families, everything is dynamic. So we just have to keep watching as we continue to implement these great programs, and then figure out where are the spots that we need to do better and provide that support to teachers and principals.
And in your experience, both as an educator and a student in the Bronx growing up, what are things that maybe you saw that maybe were overlooked across the city? Are there anything specific to the Bronx and things that you noticed maybe on both ends of the spectrum as a student and as an educator that would be good to look forward to in the future?
You know, growing up, I didn't always feel that student voice was a real thing, student agency. We had student council and things like that, which are nice, they're great, they're a great step in the right direction. But children don't often have a seat at the table when we're talking about curriculum, when we're talking about their safety and wellness, when we're talking about what empowerment for them and their families look like. We've done a lot of great work around that in this administration. That's very important to us. But as someone who didn't always experience that, it's very meaningful to me, and I want to continue to push for authentic opportunities for students to have a seat at those tables.
Empowering students to see what they want in the school.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very interesting. And with all of the changes we've seen throughout our local city government over just the last few weeks, what are ways that you hope to continue to build trust with New York families, students, and their parents?
My most important role is the mom of a New York City public school student. I've lived in the same neighborhood my entire life. My daughter will continue to come up through the New York City public school system. And so I hope that everyone sees that my commitment is to ensure that students have what I expect from my own daughter. So they have an advocate in me, and they have a parent partner in me.
The investment for you is personal.
It absolutely is.
Is there anything else about you that you want New York families to know, or anything that you think Bronx families need to know about you as you step into this new role?
I just hope that they know that I'm super committed, not only to the Bronx, but to the entire city, and that I plan on listening. I don't plan on just telling what I think should happen. I think a productive relationship is when a leader actually listens and see themselves as a servant, right? So I want to be of service to New York City. And to do that is through advocacy and listening to their needs.
And when does the transition officially start for you? Is today day one or tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day.
You feel any nerves at all? Or you just, how you feeling?
Definitely, and nerves because I want to do such a good job, right? When you have such great respect for the people you work with and the people you serve, you want to do a great job. And so that's a way for me to hold myself accountable. It's a way for my team and I to hold each other accountable. But I want to be able to go to sleep at night and know that I did everything that I could for the families and children of New York City. So I'm nervous, but in a good way.
Are you feeling any additional pressure because of all of the attention on these positions right now?
No. I'm here as a teacher, as a symbol of stability, and I'm just excited to get started on the work. The work's been happening, so I'm excited to do it from just this new seat.
Is there anything I haven't asked you that you want to add, or you think people should know?
No, I think it's great.
Nathaniel, is there anything you think we haven't touched on?
Perfect, that's great.